Hey baddies, what's up? It's your favorite baddie on a budget, Diamond K. Welcome back to my channel, unless you're new here. And in which case, if you are new here, make yourself at home, okay? There are drinks in my fridge. You can go put your coats on my bed. Get comfy, because today, I'm going to tell you about all the things I wish I'd known at the beginning of my spiritual journey. It would have saved me a lot of time and a lot of hurt, pain, a lot of shadow work, etc. So, let's get right into it. Alright hotties, real fast before we get into it, a few things. First things first, let me plug myself so you can follow all my socials. They'll be right over here in this corner. If you don't know who I am, I'm a baddie on a budget. I make baddie budget content, but I'm also starting to dip a toe in spirituality content because I am really passionate about that. And yeah, I haven't made a video about my spiritual journey yet because I just really need to sit down and get it all into like the timeline, etc. I need to figure out exactly when everything happened, you know what I'm saying? But I will eventually. But as of right now, these are the things that were the most like profound lessons I've learned this far in my journey. I think my journey began. I couldn't say exactly when it began because I would probably have to do a lot of introspection, but it definitely started picking up May 2020 when everything was falling apart, even though it's not acting like it's not now. But when everything was falling apart like so loudly that we all thought we were about to die, that's when it picked up. I'm not trying to act like I'm some spiritual guru or anything, but I really do devote a lot of time to my mental well-being and spiritual well-being, etc. And yeah, it's been a beautiful journey. My life has been so much more meaningful since it began, and I just want to share some of the things that I learned along the way that have really entirely changed the way I perceive myself, the world, life, etc. So let's get right into it. The first thing is that most of us don't actually live our lives, we just think about our lives. That has helped me so much. In the past, I lived in my head so much, yet to literally to this day, because yesterday hit me like I've been struggling my entire life to be present in the moment, because I've always been hyper vigilant about anticipating other people's needs. I'm hoping everything is going well, making sure nobody's in a bad mood, etc. To the point where I just could never be present, because I'm like, oh, what if they're mad that I'm not talking to them? Things like that. Or what if I look weird right now? Like, just so hyper aware of myself and in my head, or worried about what if this happens? What if that happens? When it almost never does. And most of the time, everybody is just vibing. And also, it's not my job to anticipate anyone's needs, to regulate anyone else's emotions, because there's nothing wrong with emotions, literally. It's part of life. It's normal. They have to be here. But if we didn't have bad emotions, then happiness wouldn't feel good, you know what I'm saying? I know that might sound cliche, but an example of that is like how often we take for granted things that we were born with, things that we've always had around, people that we've always had around. And once they leave, you realize, oh, they were a great person. Yeah, most of us really do live in our heads, so it really helps to regularly practice being present, doing meditations for slowing down and flowing with the moment. Just trying to do one thing at a time, take it one thing at a time. If you're like me, I'm always on 100 for no reason, to the point where I'm getting overwhelmed almost all the time. So I definitely suggest trying to relax into the present moment some more and get out of your head, because most of the times our thoughts are not fact. There's no sound research in them. We're just like freaking out in our head all the time when we could be enjoying our life. And if we do that forever, it will pass us by. Number 2, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And I might not believe this like this time last year, because I was struggling mentally. I was like literally losing my mind. I don't want to get into that right now, but I was struggling mentally last year badly, and I was put through a lot of trials. But now I see exactly why they happen, because like my life is falling into place right now, and it helps me to trust the universe, because when I look back at all the horrible things that happened to me last year, they all brought me to this moment anyway. And I'm sure you could probably think of a time where everything seemed like it worked out perfectly, even if it wasn't how you had it in mind. I would like to say that I used to see my life as a movie, but I thought I was this like the plot writer, and I thought I could manufacture my dream life like this, and it doesn't work like that. It really doesn't, because you gotta ask the universe for what you want, because you are in a movie. Your life is a little movie, but you're not the writer. You're just experiencing it, and you can pick whether or not it ends well based on your perception and your mindset, and you can pick what you get out of life, but you don't get to pick how. Literally, you don't get to pick how. So yeah, try to think back of a time where everything seemed like it was dire, seemed like everything was falling apart, so dire and terrifying, but now you're fine. You're still breathing right now. It really didn't actually change that much. Number 3, your worth is inherent, and you aren't a bad person. Now, you might make bad actions, but there's no one thing that defines you. You are so much more complex than just one action, one moment, one opinion of somebody else, one mistake, you know what I'm saying? And that really made me feel so free when I learned that, because I used to think that other people could define me and my worth, and that's simply not true. It doesn't matter. Everything else is just a man-made concept made by people who are probably trying to hold you down. There are bad people out there for sure, but I would say that if you're not killing nobody, exploiting people, gaslighting, manipulating, you know, all that type of stuff, assaulting, etc., you're probably not the worst person in the world, and you should be nicer to yourself, because when you're mean to yourself and you want to be a good person for the sake of not being a bad person anymore or feeling bad, it really just makes it worse and the cycle continues. Okay, sorry, I feel like I had to spice up my outfit a little bit, so I'm back and it's better, baby boo. Well, I'm not better, because all versions of me are fantastic and equal, you know what I'm saying? Because we're so much more than our appearance, period. If you want to hear more about that type of, like, that topic being more than your appearance, definitely check out my glow up video. How to manifest a glow up. It's all about the mindset. It's all about how you treat yourself. Oh, wow, I feel so cute. I might start the video over. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the next thing I wish I'd known at the beginning of my spiritual journey is that it's never personal, because especially until you know this, you will probably have people projecting onto you all the time, beating up on you, trying to further their agenda that you're a villain, etc. And you might be a villain in somebody's story, because, like, I mean, we are all villains at some point. Humans are not perfect, but it's almost never personal. People are almost always projecting onto you, so that's why it really doesn't matter what people think, because it's literally they see a part of themselves they don't like within you, or they see a quality in you that they wish they had, or you're just the closest thing there and they need someone to be their personal punching bag. And honestly, I'm not perfect at all. I project all the time. I project my boyfriend so much, but I do always try to take accountability for my actions once I calm down, and I really minimize how much I project on him by regulating my emotions more, being responsible for them, because when you're responsible for your emotions after, like, lashing out at somebody, say you're projecting, because we all do it, no one's exempt. When you take responsibility for your emotions afterwards, you don't feel like a bad person anymore, and it really ends the cycle, because I used to always project on my boyfriend and then feel horrible afterwards, but then I would feel like I wasn't good enough for him, and I would beat myself up and be like, you're so awful, Delaney, you're a horrible person, you don't deserve him, and then that would make me miserable and more likely to project even more. So it was an endless cycle of just projecting and hating myself. It was honestly awful, but I broke it by taking responsibility for my emotions and my actions when I'm emotional, because it's more about that and learning from your mistakes and trying not to make the same decisions next time. So I might get mad in my head now really easily, but I used to get mad, like, quickly. But I catch myself now, because every time you do it, you get better. Your brain starts to learn. Your brain picks up a little bit more and more on whatever you're teaching it every time. We're habitual creatures too, so it's more about breaking the habits that are holding you back. But yeah, don't ever take what anyone else has to say personal. If someone's bullying you, they're probably miserable and hate themselves. If somebody is jealous of you, like, they're probably, like, you know what I'm saying. I don't need to explain this over and over again. Number 5, your emotions are a guidance system. Ooh. That is why it is so important to be in touch with your emotions and not lie to yourself about them, not practice toxic positivity, not act like you're so hard you don't ever have any emotions. It's not healthy to do that at all. Okay, let me clarify. It's not healthy to be entirely led by your emotions either. I saw discourse on Twitter about this, yeah, today or yesterday. It's not healthy to be entirely, like, led by your emotions either, but too much of anything is unhealthy. Moderation is one of the biggest things in this lifetime that probably help you a lot to master. And I'm learning. It's taken a while, but the sooner I start, the sooner I get there, you know what I'm saying? Because I did not know moderation. Like, she was not something that I was born with. Your emotions are a guidance system. So when you listen to your emotions, you write them down. Each emotion will teach you something about yourself that you want, that you don't want, that you like, that you don't like. I can make a video about this as well, because I don't really have time to speak about all of this. But your emotions will tell you, like, if something doesn't sit well with your soul, if you're meant for something, like if this feels so right, you're dancing or something and it just feels so right, you feel so happy. Happiness tells you about more of what you want. Jealousy would also tell you about what you want that you're not giving yourself. Anger will tell you about where you're not satisfied in your life, and then you can use these as a way to get to a point where you are fulfilling these areas that may be lacking in your life, if that makes any sense. If not, I will make a video about this, because that could be a great topic. Honestly, it did help me a lot, because I used to run from my emotions and be upset when they arrived, which would also just furthers the cycle of projecting and being miserable. And when you're not in touch with your emotions, though, it is very hard to manifest things easily and effortlessly, because you do not know what is right for you and what's not. I'm sorry, yeah, like I said, I get into this more, but that is definitely like a no-go. 6, nobody could save you but yourself. Nobody is responsible for being born into this life. None of us got to pick that we were put here. So I don't want to sound like cold-hearted at all when I say this, but at least when it comes to emotionally, nobody can save you but yourself. I used to want people to save me so bad. That's not their job. It's not their job. And if I want my partner to show me more affection, then that means I'm not giving myself enough. Because everything you want from others is what you could be giving yourself as well. Your spiritual journey is not going to really continue if you're not taking responsibility for where in your life you want to work on your certain qualities to stop self-sabotaging, so you can move forward to where you can work on your emotions and how you regulate them, how you take care of yourself. That's all your job. And there's so many resources out here to help you, but no human can save you. It's no one else's job to take care of you or your emotions. I don't know exactly where I was going with this one, but yeah, like, it is your job though. But you will not just spiritually awaken. It's about doing inner work, you know what I'm saying? You got to work on those inner qualities, and they might not always be fun. Picking the high road sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. Taking care of yourself and not beating yourself up when you cannot always be in alignment with your highest/favorite self, because you won't always be in alignment with that. It's just about trying every time, doing your best to try, or to take responsibility for your actions when you mess up. Sorry, I got my rose quartz and my clear quartz with me. They're making me feel great. Oh my gosh, clear quartz, you need her if you like meditation. Number 8, positive energy makes the world better, period. Positive energy is so powerful, and you're literally made of positive energy. I need to learn a little bit more about this, but it is like absolutely true. Positive energy makes the world better, and even taking the time to make one small act of kindness the other day could spiral like a domino effect of other people having kind acts. Kind of like when you're in line at McDonald's and somebody pays for your food, so you pay for the next person's food, and they pay and they pay. That's just an example though, because I mean on every aspect. Like, you might put someone in a really good mood, and then they go and brighten their kid's day or their husband's day, or they go do something, like they go volunteer. That's just an example. Like, this literally could go for anything. But I do my best to make the world a better place now. I want to brighten somebody's day. Positive energy is the goal. Not all the time. That's toxic positivity, but positive energy is more powerful than you would think. I should probably make a video about this too. Wow, we got lots of video topics coming up. Whew. But it does make the world a better place, and negative energy makes the world, I'm not gonna lie, kind of a worse place. Not the greatest place. There's absolutely no point in making someone else's day worse when you can make it better. Why not? And everything you put out comes right back to you. That's a promise too. You are in charge of your life. So you are in control of your life. I would affirm that all the time. Let me affirm it. I am in control of my life. I am in control of my life. And I am in control of my life. Let me button this up too. Guys, I'm getting classier by the second. You are in control of your life. So try to remember that, because like, there are little decisions that we make every single day that will set the tone for like the rest of the day, the week, etc. You are in control of your life. We have a lot of self-imposed limitations in our heads that aren't actually really real, but you have to take responsibility for yourself and your life to fix those things. There's a very fine line of doing this, because you don't want to beat yourself up for things that are out of your control. That is not healthy for nobody. That is not going to get you anywhere. I literally saw a tweet today that says trying to change yourself out of hatred for yourself is not sustainable, and literally it's not. It's just not how it works. This universe is built on love and light, and you are love and light. That's why it feels so good. But you are in charge of your life, and you're in charge of your mindset. So even if these factors are out of your control, are like getting you over and over again, try to remember that like every bad thing always happens for a reason. It always breeds change, and you always come out stronger if you don't die, like that Kelly Clarkson song or whatever. And like, you might learn, you might come out with some new anxiety disorders or whatever, but you will still come out stronger and better for it at the end of the day. That is one of the things I love about the way this universe operates, because a lot of people go through bad things, but it teaches beautiful lessons. It really does, almost every time, or at least make you stronger, more equipped to handle the world than someone who's had a very secure, cushy life, you know what I'm saying? Or very isolated, very, what's that word when they keep you up in the house? I don't remember. Next, love-based versus fear-based. So I learned this a while ago. Try to live your life from a place of love instead of a place of fear, okay? And I've been applying this in my relationship because I'm an Aquarius, so I'm closed off and kind of ready to leave at any time, but I'm also madly in love with him. So like, it's like on and off, but every day, like, I just kind of want to run from love. I want to run because I'm scared that what if he hurts me? But you know what? If he hurts me, I would come out stronger. I would be in pain for a while. I would live. My life would go on. It would supposedly probably be what was supposed to happen for my greatest good. I do trust the universe. I've been working on that for long enough that I really do naturally trust the universe now. And it's always better to lead from a place of love instead of a place of fear, and enjoying the moment instead of a place of like, what if this, what if that? If you ever catch yourself thinking from a place of fear, try to like correct it, because everything is working out for you and you should be fine. The universe is supporting you and loving you, period. And the more you believe that, the more it becomes very, very true and obvious in your life. Number 10, you can do anything as long as you truly commit to it. I've been learning about this even more recently. I feel like routine and consistency are some key words in living a successful life, because it's any skill you want to do, any goal you want to achieve, anything like that, it's almost always about consistency, not how predisposed you are to being good at it, but just your willingness to keep on trying, to not give up, to not beat yourself up, to know that eventually if you keep on doing it, you will get good at it. That applies on every aspect and every level in this life, like up to like doing your edges and stuff. I used to be scared to do my natural edges because they would just crust up on me and it would make me mad. So I'd be like, nah, I'm gonna be lazy. I'm not even gonna check for the crust. I'm gonna just hope that it's not there and squint my eyes when I look at it so I can't really see how bad it looks. But no, this summer I've been doing it every day, trying different edge controls, trying different mixtures, trying different amounts, leaving the scarf on for longer periods of time, because it's all about figuring out what works best for you to achieve whatever goal you're trying to achieve, trying new things. Don't let any one failure hold you down. Failure is not a mistake, it's a lesson every time, period. Number 11, some of the biggest things you can develop. These qualities, the biggest things you should work on to achieve inner joy and fulfillment are, in my opinion, mindfulness, gratitude, optimism, and compassion. At the beginning of my journey, I didn't really see what was so great about mindfulness and gratitude, but being in the moment can be exhilarating if you can really get there. And I got ADHD at first. When I started meditating, I could only do 2 minutes, I think. I was doing 2 minutes at a time. And I've meditated now for over an hour. Always guided meditations. I don't really do like silence ones, because this channel I'm a plug. Great meditation has changed my life. I did not like meditation until I found these meditations. Literally, I get lost in their voices. You guys just need to go there. But if you don't do anything else in this video, please go to Great Meditation. That might be enough for your spiritual journey just to start, because they really helped me so much. But gratitude is amazing, because whatever you're grateful for, you get more of it. And there's so much abundance. There's so much to be grateful for on this planet alone. Not even talking about the galaxy. You know what I'm saying? There is so much to be grateful for. And the more that you open your eyes, the more you will see it. And you'll start being moved by tears of joy and stuff. I never cried tears of joy until this year. Gratitude, period. But mindfulness, being in the present moment, is key to living a life well lived. That's why mindfulness is so great. And you realize that things are usually not as bad as you think they are. Optimism, not staying optimistic all the time, because like I said, toxic positivity. But when you're upset, knowing that it's okay to be upset and it will just pass, and it's teaching you something, and that's fine, and embracing it, that's the way to deal with lower vibrational emotions in the optimistic way, in my opinion. But optimism and expecting the good instead of expecting the bad, like we've been trained to be, is one of the greatest things you can do for yourself, because your expectation usually becomes your reality, actually. Maybe not when you order online, but when it comes to life events and how you want things to work out. When you expect yourself to do well, you're much more likely to do well. Just give it a chance. It's called checking your alignment. If you expect something bad to happen, take a second to check your alignment. Think, oh, never mind. Why do I always expect the bad? Why don't we just wait and see? Maybe it could be great. Imagine how you wanted to come out. Imagine the outcome, the ideal outcome, and then go into that. But know that even if it doesn't come out, you will be fine. You will probably live, and life will go on. That is, optimism is great. And compassion being allowed to understand that everybody else is just doing the same experience you are. It's not your job to fix anybody. We're all doing the best we can, etc. You know what I'm saying? Oh, compassion will make it a lot easier to deal with the dark sides of life. And in a couple places about where to start, my suggestions would be journaling, meditation, taking a break from social media. I swear the world is so peaceful when I'm not on Twitter, but Twitter is so funny. I know I'm on Twitter right now, but I do take breaks, and I'll probably take a break soon. I find myself spending too much time on there. Less technology, taking care of yourself, and this doesn't mean just face masks and stuff. I mean showering often if you can. Not to shame people who can't, because I get that's depression, but you might see the way you feel afterwards. It's honestly iconic. It's a whole different you. Going into your shower and imagining all your stress and worries falling off of your body with the water. Guys, try that. It's a great way to cleanse your energy system. But also going to bed on time, waking up on time, eating good meals. My anger issues cut in half when I started eating breakfast every day. I swear, majority of it was probably irritability from just not eating enough. And learning self-compassion, because you will literally blossom into a beautiful flower when you can love yourself and appreciate and accept yourself exactly as you are right now. And I know it sounds hard, but you can get there. It's all about just reminding yourself in the future when you're being mean to yourself, cut it out. It doesn't do you any good. And being okay that you caught yourself because you've been trained to do it that way. I heard a quote recently, I can't remember who, said that you're not responsible for the first thought that pops into your head, like the first negative or judgmental thought that pops in your head, because society has brainwashed us. That's society's responsibility. But you are responsible for the second one, how you handle it. So try to give yourself the same compassion that you give others. You'll find it easier to give others compassion when you're giving it to yourself. The way that you view yourself and the expectations you have for yourself are the same that you have for others. So once you start being kinder to yourself or being kinder to others, you might see it working for yourself too. Try to treat yourself how you treat your friends. And then my favorite suggestions real fast as content-wise to getting into spirituality are this podcast called RECON. It taught me everything I know about the law of attraction. I listened to the whole thing in 2 weeks. I didn't even listen to music that entire time. Great meditation, that channel that changed my life. I only do meditations from them for the most part because she has the only voice that I can really get lost in every single time. Spirit Science YouTube channel, that's a great channel for learning about spirituality as well. Live the life you love for affirmations when you sleep, or just getting good at saying affirmations in general. In this YouTube channel called Tarasova. Tarasova. I hope I said her name right, but Annie Tarasova or Annie Tarasova. She really opened my eyes a lot, and I love her content. She's one of the reasons I've even talked about this on camera. So yeah, guys, I hope this video was helpful. And if it was, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe. It would mean the world to me. And I will keep pumping out spirituality content if you want. If you want more bag budget content, comment below. I just can't really do hauls right now. I'm about to get in my bag, so I should get in my bag. I want to save more than I'm spending for a few weeks. See how that goes, you know what I'm saying? But I'll do some more hauls soon. So if you guys have requests for bag budget content, comment below. I'm about to get back into wig reviews the next few days. I'm probably gonna be taking this down, but I just now yesterday found out how to get my edges to like lay like this. So now it's like I got a new appreciation for her, because this whole time they were coming up crusty every time. It was so agitating. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna head out. My throat is getting pretty dry and I got some homework I want to do. I love you, baddies, and I will see you next time, okay? Bye.